Whew, finally done with this fucking video. God, I'm exhausted. At least it's done. I can get it uploaded, get it finished. Couldn't have been that long, right? It hasn't been that long. I'm sure I'm just overreacting. God, this took me so much longer than I wanted it to. Hello, my mystical babies. Welcome back to the channel. I am so sorry this took so damn long. Life has been totally beating my ass. So, yeah, it's off the schedule. But hey, I'm back now. It's okay. And I'm here to continue to feed you guys some good old rainbow goodness. Before I get into that though, there are some things in the first part that I actually do really want to address. And if you're new here and don't know what's happening, I recommend watching the first video first and then coming back to watch this one so that way you can better understand what's going to be happening. The first thing I want to address was the reason for the reboot itself. I think last video I mentioned how I thought that this was made to compete with Generation 3 of Monster High, which also was targeted towards a younger audience and was successful, and MGA is trying to ride off the coattails of that. I do have to admit, I was being really cynical in that video, and I still think that's part of the reason they're doing this, but it's definitely not the actual reason. I got a comment on that video, and it's a lot more likely that the reason the reboot is happening is because the quality of the Rainbow High dolls resulted in them being more higher priced, and they struggle to sell, especially overseas. I don't know, I guess Rainbow High didn't really have that wow factor that other doll lines have. And they especially didn't sell as well as the OMG dolls, which not only had a gimmick that was addicting and engaging through the surprises, but they were also cheaper and had a lot more fun and creative designs. I mentioned that last video. So that really made them more accessible to the public, especially to the younger girl crowd they were trying to target. So I definitely do think this is the biggest reason for the reboot, but what confuses me is that they don't design the dolls in a similar way to OMG. In fact, they look even more boring and bland and kind of ugly than they did before, which I feel like would cause worse sales. But who knows, really. Corporations do be corporating. The next thing I wanted to address was iridescence itself. I mentioned this in a community post, but just to sum that up, Iridescence will no longer be a Rainbow High rewrite project or a Rainbow High reimagining project. Iridescence will be its own thing with its own lore, and I will make a series making the new characters in the new world. This isn't because of anything in particular. I just don't really like doing rewrites, yet I for some reason keep forcing myself to do them, even though I get bored and burnt out very easily. I tend to have more fun when I'm able to tell my own stories that I make. Not to say I'm not going to be making any more story content in the future. There will be, it just won't be rewrite related. I'll still continue to redesign Rainbow High. Maybe I'll redesign other characters after the main girls. I just won't be rewriting it anymore. So if you did like the world building I was shaking up, I really hope you stick around for that series. I don't know when I'm going to upload it yet, but it's coming. The next thing I wanted to address was Amaya's design. I really appreciate the love and support on it, but I have to say that I'm very unsatisfied with it, and a lot of people actually gave me a lot of constructive criticism that really helped. Her theming was all over the place, so you couldn't really tell what it was. The fashion style was kind of inconsistent and didn't match what I was going for at all. For example, her first outfit gave a lot more Lolita than I was expecting and intended to. It just overall didn't feel like Amaya, if that makes sense. It didn't have that vibe, which you guys were absolutely right. So here is a fixed version of this design. I did a lot more fashion research. The colors were hard to do, and I really actually decided to go ham on color because I didn't really feel as restrained as I did last time. Oh, and I also redesigned the pet because other people mentioned that it would be cool if the pets had a little bit of a LPS style to them, and I thought that was a great idea. And Razzle Dazzle kind of looked a little dead and soulless. Anyway, I think now we can move on to the "you forgot something." What? No, I didn't. That's all I needed to address. Look, it's here in my notes. What do you mean that's all? You're just gonna ignore the elephant in the room? What elephant in the room? Your outfit. What about my outfit? It's different. No, it's not. I've always looked like this. No, you didn't. You had a completely different outfit last video. See, I have it right here. Well, with that out of the way, how about we just get into that review on how Season 5's going, yeah? Yeah, let's do that. Now, this might not sound shocking considering I made a community post about this a few days ago, but I actually don't think Rainbow World is that bad. Sure, in terms of creativity, it is a major downgrade from what we originally had. It doesn't have anything that made Rainbow High unique or creative, such as the art school aspect, and even the fact that the girls are all meant to be different types of artists is then replaced with generic, pretty girls need to go to different places to solve problems, except now we have slime and glitter. It definitely gives me the vibe of current day Barbie animated shows. God, I miss when Barbie was about stealing people's children because your man doesn't love you anymore. However, this doesn't mean I think that Rainbow World is completely unenjoyable. The animation is absolutely gorgeous. It's bright, it's colorful, it's bouncy, it's fluid. And you can tell they're really growing into the Rainbow High art style because if you watched the first season, you know that these guys kinda looked really creepy. I was also a bit surprised to find out the show was a musical, but I actually really liked it. A lot of the music is really good and I really enjoy it. It gives me My Little Pony energy. I can't wait for the Spotify playlist to come out. I'm about to blast all these songs on repeat. Also, I mentioned last video that a big issue with Rainbow High was that there were way too many characters, which not only meant our main girls were shafted, but it also meant none of those characters got the time to shine to be their own characters. This is something Rainbow World actually fixes, as the cast has been downsized down to just our main girls again. And not only that, but the characters are a lot more expressive. And they're clearly trying to define who everyone is. For example, in the first episode, Ruby absolutely shines. I love her this episode. She has a very go, 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 we can't sit still, we have to do something attitude, and it's so cute. Also, another good note, Poppy and Bella weren't removed like everyone thought they were, so we can now stop panicking. Though I am a little confused on why they weren't launched as dolls with the rest of the group. I'm assuming that something happened to their dolls in production and now they had to be pushed back, because that's the only thing that really makes sense to me. However, this is when we kind of get to the negative. One thing that kind of annoyed me is that they didn't commit to just rebooting the entire show, opting to just make it a continuation of the show we already had. This is something that really annoys me when franchises do it. It happened in Winx, and you could argue that it also happened with My Little Pony Generation 5. They know they want this show to be for a completely new audience, so it makes zero sense to make it a continuation of a show whose audience isn't the target market. Not to mention, it feels like a cheap way to try to still milk cash out of them while you can. I mean, sure, Rainbow World isn't half bad when you separate it from Rainbow High, but if you're gonna make it a continuation, you can't ignore the fact that majority of its audience were here for its unique concepts. And all of those concepts have since been removed. So if you're gonna reboot something to this degree, you might as well commit to it. Anyway, back to Rainbow World itself. Rainbow World is essentially a parallel dimension to the world we've already seen, considering, the main building is just a recolored and slightly altered version of the school, which I kind of thought was funny. Majority of the interiors are really pretty, but the, environments aren't really that good. The idea is there, but it kind of seems like they just took random assets and slapped as many crystals and colors and shit as they could to make it look magical, and it kind of makes it look like a mess. And also they somehow made the demon pets more terrifying and ugly because every single one of them walk on 2 legs. Listen, I can excuse the monkey, I can excuse the bear, but no, I'm not excusing the rest of this. Why do they make noises? The show also introduces a concept called the Shimmers, who are apparently just a group of people that just go around and help people. Yeah, it's pretty lame. Also, something that was really funny is that people kept referring to these, the girls as the new Shimmers, and me and my friend were watching this for the first time and we were like, what happened to the old ones? Did they die? Where are they? It doesn't help that they don't really go into much detail as to what a shimmer is and what it really means beyond going through portals and helping people. And it's really a shame because they really had all the resources to make the shimmers interesting. A pretty quick and easy way to do this would just be to keep the concept of the focuses. And then the girls would have to find more creative ways to solve problems by using their artworks and special talents. But I guess MGA is allergic to creativity because the girls don't get to be creative in any way anymore. They don't even get to pick and make their own fashion. The portal just does everything for them. Damn, they really said we can't have nothing in this house. There's not really anything of note in the story, just cute one-off stories about the girls helping people and singing a song, and suddenly the problem is fixed. Again, when you separate it from Rainbow High, it functions. It's a cute little show to have in the background when you just want to turn your brain off and watch something cute and enjoyable. But not to say you can't be disappointed, especially since they made this a continuation of the original Rainbow High. But that's really all I have to say about it. It's cute, it functions, it's a decent show. Ruby's rainbow world design is actually one of the most inoffensive of the reboot, and I think that's literally just because it's her original design, just with some slight tweaks like a gold skirt and getting rid of her hat. Though it somehow feels more generic and flat than the one she had before. I don't know, her original outfit just kind of gave me a vibe that this outfit doesn't give. In fact, like, this outfit isn't really giving much of anything. Though I do like her really wavy hair, and I think it looks pretty animated. And I also appreciate trying to break up the reds in her design with gold. Though I wish they would have just kept her pants. I do not see why everyone here needs to have either a skirt or a dress. Variety, people. As for Ruby's other designs, though, I feel like they're fine, you know. They don't really do that good of a job in reflecting her character or her focus. She's more so just a walking reference for Supreme, which kinda sucks. I feel like more could have been done with her, especially with a lot of her outfits. She just kind of feels like an afterthought, which is kind of weird considering, like, she loves graffiti. So I don't understand why there couldn't have been more graffiti influences in her design. But, you know, that's really all I can say on her. Like, they're just boring. I mean, they function, you know, they represent her color well, but she's just kind of boring. For my redesign, though, I wanted to be completely different. I wanted to be bold. I wanted it to say fire and Ruby. I also wanted to keep the kind of skater girl look she was kind of having. So I took away all the sparkle logos and replaced them with her Spark logo. Because frankly, if she's gonna promote anything, it's going to be her own work. And I also wanted to give her this kind of mullet wolf cut look. Like the vibe that she probably cuts her own hair, but I don't think I drew it too well. I'll probably draw it a bit better in later pictures, but we gotta get this video out. I do not have time to redraw this. This outfit here is based on 3 photos I found on Pinterest that I thought would be perfect for Ruby. And because of her sharper personality, I tried to implement things like triangles and sharp angles, while her fox has soft and round angles because, you know, because he's kind of a sleepy little baby. Fun fact, I was actually going to put the Spark logo all over this belt, like it was supposed to go all the way down. But for some reason, that was just a total bitch to draw, so I just opted for putting stripes on it. I also like that one of her outfits had a beanie and the other one had the cool backwards baseball hat, so I tried to do both, giving them both their own little details. Like the bi flag, because, listen, my headcanon will survive. For her second outfit, I knew I wanted to keep the sporty look I had going on, but definitely wanted to find a way to incorporate the skirt, because I did like that Ruby had one skirt and one pair of pants. I love me some variety. So I tried to make her a pair of overalls where the bottom kind of looked like gym shorts, like having that little cut in them and having the stripes on the end. I don't know how well I pulled that off. I don't think I pulled it off too well, but hey, I tried. I also made the overalls half buttoned because I don't know, I feel like Ruby would wear it like that. It's a cool fashion statement for her. And just to make sure I still had the spray paint effect, I added some spray painted fire symbols on the pocket and her shoes, along with a bit of spray paint on the end of her sleeves with the fire. And of course, she gotta represent the brand. We have to put the Spark logo somewhere, so I just put it on like a small little corner of her severely cropped hoodie because I think those are really cool. Also, her, I don't know what you call these things at the end of jackets, but they also serve as gloves. editing Anarchy here. It's cuffs. It's the cuffs of her sleeve. I'm fucking stupid. Don't mind. Moving on. I also gave her a pair of sneaker wedges. I tried to do the sneaker heels in her concept art, like the ones we see in the cheer line, but for some reason those just would not work for me in any capacity. So this was the best way of compromising that I could do. Also, if you notice I'm using a lot of gold, I just decided that gold would be the color that would tie all the girls together because I had already used gold for Ruby and Amaya 2 times in a row. We might as well make it a trend. And with that said, that's Ruby! She was arguably so far the easiest to design. I had the clearest vision for her compared to the other girls because trust me, Poppy gave me hell. But I am very happy with how she turned out. She is absolutely adorable, and I think I was able to achieve being fashionable while also being character expressive. I don't know, tell me how I did. Would you wear this outfit? If yes, I basically succeeded my goal, so let's move on to our girl Poppy. I'll be honest, it was kind of hard for me to judge Poppy's Rainbow World design at first, simply because I could never get a good shot of it full body of her because she doesn't have a doll yet for some reason. I'm just going with the theory that something happened to their dolls during production, and that's why Bella and Poppy aren't released with the main girls, but whatever. Poppy's design is pretty boring. Like, her hair is really cute, I really like it. But her dress is just a plain orange blouse sundress with a weirdly hard to see pink metallic pattern on it in some places. It kind of just looks like a more boring version of her junior high design, which I genuinely believe they used as inspiration for this look. I mean, honestly, frankly, you could tell me that Poppy wasn't originally going to be in this line, but people threw such an outrage because, remember, the first time people saw these dolls were leaks, not from the official announcement. And I'm pretty sure the show is made long after the dolls. So I am almost sure that they saw the outrage that people were having over the loss of Poppy, so they just threw something together as fast as humanly possible, and that's why she looks so boring. But you know what? I think I'd rather have a boring design than whatever the hell Violet got going on, so a win is a win. A win is a win. As for Poppy's main designs though, they're genuinely one of my favorites out of the line. I think this is because there's that consistent theme of butterflies that gives her designs the extra flair that a lot of the other girls just don't have. Because they do a lot of interesting stuff with monarch butterfly patterns that are just so cute on her. However, there is one thing about her design that I never really understood. For some reason, for most of Poppy's design, she's always seen in hoodies and big baggy jackets, and it's really confusing. If you watch the show, you know that Poppy is from a pretty hot climate. In fact, she's from somewhere that's so hot that she'd never seen snow before. Now, you may argue that the reason she's wearing these big coats and hoodies is because she's in a new weather climate, and that's often what people do when they're moving from a hot climate to one that's a bit more cold. But the reason that confuses me is because Rainbow High is heavily implied to be somewhere in like California or LA, which is noticeably one of the more hotter places in the US. So I'm a little confused, girl. You want to bake yourself? What? When it comes to Poppy's redesign, however, I definitely have to admit that she was the problem child. Hell, I argue she's the reason that this video took so long to come out, because I did not know what the hell to do with her. It was so hard to gauge what fashion style to give her that I was just kind of sitting there, constantly brainstorming, confused, struggling. The thrive was not there, I swear. I even took some suggestions from friends. Luckily for me, my sister Slasher Gasher suggested Coachella fashion. And when I tell you, I looked at a lot of Coachella fashion, especially Coachella fashion that has to do with butterflies. There is a lot of that. And the first thing I thought was Wings Club. And when I tell you, I was home sailing after that. It was so easy to do her. The creator, Mina Lay, I really hope I'm pronouncing that right, made a great video where she restyled the Winx and Fate of the Winx saga more akin to what Winx fashion was like in the early show, and that gave me a lot of inspiration. Stay tuned, I might do a Winx redesign series. Well, the world will never know. But anyway, to keep more with the festival-esque style, I tried to give her beach waves, but those are hard to draw. Wavy hair in general is hard to draw. I definitely need more practice, but I think I did well. I did keep her butterfly clips, but I put them on the back of these two half braided pigtails that she has on the back of her head. Because if I did any more on the braids like it is in her like Rainbow World design, I feel like they'd be crushed by either A, her big chunky headphones that she always wears, or B, they'd be crushed by her sunglasses that I gave her, because I really liked the sunglasses she got in the Homesick episode. They were really cute. I also added butterflies onto the headphones to kind of compensate for the hair clips I removed. The next thing I wanted to do was make sure she had a lot of loose and flowy fabric to kind of go with her more go with the flow nature. And I'm pretty sure you can tell I went very hard on the butterfly theming. We got butterfly shaped bows, we got butterfly pattern fabric, we are in butterflyception right now. But I feel like what I had the most fun with was definitely her poses. I will be real, I didn't really like the poses I did for Ruby and Amaya. I feel like they didn't really express their characters much, but I couldn't find anything better. But Poppy was just so easy to do because I could very easily draw poses where she just looks like she's dancing, and it's so cute. My little headcanon is that if Poppy stands in one place for too long, she will just start dancing like she's an ideal video game character. I also imagine that Poppy is so warm that she will just casually go outside in sandals and shorts and everyone just looks at her like she's absolutely insane. I'm actually like really proud of how her design turned out because frankly, it's the first time I've did designs with this level of shape language. So it's really out of my comfort zone, but I never realized how fun it was to incorporate more unique shapes into character design. What I'm really proud of is the butterfly shape cropped bralette, I think that's what it's called, that she's wearing in her second outfit. I'm really proud of that. I struggled a lot with it, but I'm really proud of it. It's just so pretty. I kept her cat mostly the same. I mostly just added like some brownish, orangish fur patterns just to give it some visual flair. I also made its eyes blue so that way it didn't look too much like Poppy, but also to represent its more skittish and shy nature, which is actually seen in the Rainbow World show. Also, because Poppy doesn't have a doll, it means her pet doesn't have a name because for some reason they don't say the pets' names in the show, so I just named her Mango. Her name is Mango. I also almost forgot that Poppy was supposed to have freckles. For some reason, I did not see it in any of the designs I looked at. I guess I'm just blind. But don't worry, I caught it. And instead of making her hair stripes pink like they are in her original design, I made them more of a lightish cream color. I felt like the pink blended in way too much with the rest of her hair, especially since they tinted it more towards red. Plus, I like going around saying she has orange creamsicle hair. And of course, one of her designs had to have an MP3 player. I don't know what it was, but I thought it would have been so cute if she had one somewhere. I love it. I love it so. And yeah, that's Poppy. She is yet another favorite. I hope I can keep this good of a streak up for the rest of the girls because I have a long way to go before I'm done. And even then, I probably will not be done because I do kind of want to redesign like other characters. Of course, I'm going to redesign the Shadow High characters, but I also want to redesign characters like the A's. But until then, we still got 5 more of the main girls to go. Again, I'm really sorry this video took so long. I wanted to have this video out so much earlier, but you know, life happens. And I'll be honest, my next video probably won't be Rainbow High related, considering I don't want the algorithm to just assume I'm a Rainbow High channel. But enough of that. I'm exhausted. Thank you for watching. Leave your suggestions for iridescents in the comments. Leave suggestions for other Rainbow High characters you want me to redesign in the future, or even other series you want to see me redesign in the future in the comments. Comment which design was your favorite, put a rainbow for Amaya, put a fire emoji for Ruby, and put a butterfly for Poppy. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!